Imagine gazing down from space, where our planet glows with a shimmering blue hue. This is the world of water, a realm that covers more than 70% of the Earth's surface, shaping continents, carving valleys, and nurturing life in every corner. Water is not merely a backdrop. It is the lifeblood of our world, flowing through vast oceans, winding rivers, and tranquil lakes, each with its own story to tell. These aquatic domains are ancient, ever-changing, and essential, forming the cradle in which life first began and continues to thrive. Oceans stretch beyond the horizon, their depths concealing mysteries yet to be discovered. Rivers snake through forests and plains, carrying nutrients and life from mountain springs to the sea. Lakes, both vast and small, reflect the sky and provide sanctuary for countless creatures. Together, these waters form a complex, interconnected web of ecosystems, each supporting a dazzling array of life. Within these realms, fish are the silent navigators, weaving through currents and shadows, their presence felt in every aquatic environment. Fish are the most abundant and varied vertebrates on Earth, their forms as diverse as the waters they inhabit. In the icy polar seas, some fish have evolved anti-freeze proteins to survive sub-zero temperatures. In tropical coral reefs, others display brilliant colors and intricate patterns, blending seamlessly with their vibrant surroundings. Mountain streams are home to sleek, agile swimmers, while the deepest ocean trenches shelter creatures adapted to crushing pressure and perpetual darkness. Each species is a testament to the power of adaptation and the endless creativity of evolution. Fish are both hunters and the hunted, forming a vital link in the food web. Some stalk their prey with patience and precision, while others rely on speed and agility to escape predators. They feed on plankton, insects, and smaller fish, and in turn provide nourishment for birds, mammals, and larger fish. This constant dance of survival helps regulate populations, recycle nutrients, and sustain the intricate web of life beneath the water's surface. Among the most remarkable feats in the animal kingdom are the migrations of fish. Salmon, for example, journey from the open ocean to the very streams where they were born, leaping over obstacles and braving predators to spawn the next generation. Eels travel thousands of miles from freshwater rivers to the distant Sargasso Sea. These epic journeys ensure the renewal of populations and the mixing of genetic diversity, fortifying aquatic communities against the challenges of a changing world. The biodiversity of fish is nothing short of astonishing. Coral reefs, often called the rainforests of the sea, are alive with thousands of fish species, each perfectly adapted to its niche. In the shadowy depths, bioluminescent fish create their own light, flickering like stars in the darkness. In freshwater streams, fish have developed camouflage and specialized feeding strategies, allowing them to thrive in ever-shifting conditions. From the smallest alpine trickle to the vast open ocean, fish are found in nearly every aquatic environment on Earth. Their presence is a living testament to the adaptability and resilience of life in water, and to the endless possibilities that aquatic habitats provide. Every fish species is shaped by the unique conditions of its home. Temperature, salinity, water flow, and the availability of food all influence how fish behave and survive. Some dart through swift currents, while others hover in still pools. Some are solitary, while others gather in vast schools, moving as one to confuse predators and increase their chances of survival. The roles fish play in their ecosystems are as varied as their forms. Some graze on algae, keeping aquatic plants in check and maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. Others are apex predators, controlling the populations of species below them. Filter feeders cleanse the water by consuming plankton, while scavengers recycle nutrients by feeding on detritus, ensuring nothing goes to waste. The reproductive strategies of fish are equally diverse. Some lay thousands of eggs in hidden nests, trusting in numbers for survival. Others give birth to live young, offering them a head start in life. Many species perform elaborate courtship rituals, and some even guard their offspring, fiercely protecting them until they are ready to face the world alone. The story of fish is a saga that stretches back over 500 million years. Fossil records reveal that fish were among the first vertebrates to appear on Earth, their ancient forms preserved in stone. Over time, they have radiated into an incredible variety of shapes and sizes, from jawless lampreys to armored sturgeons and swift, powerful tuna. Through the ages, fish have weathered dramatic changes in climate, water chemistry, and geography. Their ability to adapt and diversify has allowed them to colonize nearly every aquatic niche, from the coldest mountain streams to the warmest tropical lagoons. The presence of fish in a body of water is often a sign of its health and vitality. Their abundance and diversity reflect the quality of the environment and the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Where fish thrive, so too does the web of life that depends on them. Fish form intricate relationships with other aquatic organisms. Some species act as cleaners, removing parasites from larger fish. Others rely on aquatic plants for shelter and breeding grounds. These interactions create a dynamic, interdependent web of life where every species plays a part in the health of the whole. With over 34,000 known species, the variety of fish is a testament to the richness of aquatic biodiversity. Each species, no matter how small or obscure, contributes to the overall health and stability of the world's waters, playing a unique role in its ecosystem. In some river systems, certain fish species become ecological engineers, shaping the very structure of their environment. Their feeding and spawning behaviors influence the distribution of plants, invertebrates, and even the flow of water itself. The same species can play dramatically different roles in different parts of the world. Carp, for example, may be revered in one region and considered a nuisance in another, depending on the local environment and the community of organisms present. In the open ocean, species like mackerel form immense schools moving in perfect synchrony. These gatherings are vital to the marine food web, providing sustenance for larger fish, marine mammals, and seabirds, and supporting entire ecosystems. In tropical waters, flying fish have evolved the extraordinary ability to leap and glide above the waves, escaping predators and seizing opportunities in a world where danger lurks both above and below the surface. The interactions among fish and other aquatic life create a living tapestry, a network of relationships that sustains the health and productivity of the world's waters. Every movement, every feeding, every migration is a thread in this intricate web. Each fish species is a story of adaptation and survival, a living example of the delicate balance between organism and environment. Their lives are shaped by the forces of nature and the challenges of their habitats. Carp, mackerel, and flying fish each offer a unique window into the diversity of aquatic life and the complexity of global ecosystems. Their differences highlight the endless variety of forms and strategies that life in water can take. These species show how environmental factors shape the roles and perceptions of fish around the world, underscoring the adaptability and resilience that define aquatic life. As we journey through the world's waters, we uncover the extraordinary diversity and interconnectedness of life beneath the surface. Fish are not just inhabitants of these realms, they are architects, caretakers, and storytellers, playing an essential role in sustaining the planet's aquatic environments and the future of life on Earth. In the sprawling arteries of America's rivers, a silent battle rages beneath the surface. The protagonist of this unfolding drama is the carp, a fish whose reputation is as divided as the waters it inhabits. For some, it is a villain, a destroyer of balance. For others, it is a symbol of abundance and tradition. The story begins decades ago when several species of Asian carp were brought to the United States. Their arrival was not accidental. They were introduced with hope, intended to help manage algae and clean up aquaculture ponds. But the boundaries of containment proved fragile. Floods and oversights allowed these fish to slip into the wild, where they found a new home in the vast Mississippi River basin. Once free, the carp thrived. Their numbers exploded, transforming the rivers into battlegrounds for survival. In the Mississippi and its web of tributaries, the carp's presence is now impossible to ignore. They move in dense schools, outcompeting native fish for food and space, their sheer biomass reshaping the ecosystem. The ecological consequences are dramatic. Carp are relentless feeders, devouring plankton and aquatic plants with astonishing efficiency. This voracity leaves little for native fish, who struggle to find enough to eat. The food web, once a delicate tapestry, begins to unravel as the carp's appetite tips the balance. As they scour the riverbed, carp stir up clouds of silt and sediment. The water grows murky, sunlight fades, and aquatic plants wither. These plants are more than scenery. They are the foundation of the river's health, sheltering young fish and providing oxygen. Without them, native species lose their sanctuary and the river's ancient equilibrium is thrown into chaos. The carp's ability to reproduce rapidly only deepens the crisis. With each passing season, their numbers swell, overwhelming the waterways and pushing native fish to the margins. The river, once a mosaic of species, becomes a monoculture dominated by a single, unstoppable invader. Among the carp, the silver carp stands out for its extraordinary behavior. When startled by the rumble of a boat engine, these fish launch themselves skyward, sometimes soaring 10 feet above the water. For boaters and anglers, this is more than a spectacle. It is a hazard, a living reminder of how profoundly the river has changed. The sight of silver carp leaping in unison has become an emblem of the invasion, a visual shorthand for the disruption and danger these fish represent. It is a scene that stirs both awe and alarm, capturing the urgency of the crisis. In response, American agencies have mobilized. Fences, barriers and removal campaigns have been launched, with millions of dollars spent in the hope of halting the carp's advance. Signs warn of the threat, and teams work tirelessly to pull carp from the water, determined to restore the rivers to their former state. Yet the debate over the carp's fate is far from settled. The label of pest is not a universal truth, but a reflection of local experience and values. Across the globe, the carp story takes a different turn. In the rivers and lakes of Asia and Europe, carp are not invaders but natives, woven into the natural order. Here they live in harmony with other species, their presence a familiar and accepted part of the ecosystem. In these regions, carp play a stabilizing role. Their feeding habits are balanced by the presence of natural predators and competitors, preventing the kind of unchecked dominance seen in North America. The rivers remain diverse, their communities intact. Beyond ecology, carp are a cornerstone of local economies. In bustling fish markets, they are displayed with pride, destined for kitchens and tables. Fishermen cast their nets with anticipation, knowing that a good catch of carp can mean a week's wages or a celebratory meal for a gathering of friends and family. The cultural significance of carp runs deep. In many traditions, the fish is a symbol of perseverance and prosperity. Festivals celebrate its strength and beauty, and its image appears in art, folklore, and even architecture. For countless people, the carp is not a nuisance, but a cherished part of daily life. The question of whether the carp is a pest or a prized possession is shaped by the unique tapestry of each place, by the needs of the land, the rhythms of the river, and the values of the people who depend on them. To truly grasp the complexity of the carp's story, we must look beyond the borders of any one country. We must see the fish not just as an invader or a resource, but as a living thread that connects ecosystems, economies, and cultures across continents. The debate over the carp is a mirror, reflecting the ways in which our judgments are shaped by our environment and our history. In the end, the value of a species is never absolute. It is written in the waters it inhabits. and in the lives of those who share its world. The carp is a fish whose reputation is as varied as the cultures that have encountered it. In the United States, the carp is often cast as a villain, an invader that disrupts native habitats and threatens the balance of local ecosystems. But if you travel across the world, the story of the carp transforms dramatically, revealing a creature that is not only accepted but celebrated and even revered. In China, the carp's legend is woven into the very fabric of civilization. Ancient scrolls and stone carvings depict the carp as a symbol of perseverance and ambition. The story of the Dragon Gate is told and retold. A carp, battling the relentless current, leaps over a mighty waterfall and is transformed into a dragon, the highest honor in Chinese mythology. This tale is more than folklore. It is a lesson in determination, inspiring generations to overcome obstacles and reach for greatness. Carp motifs are found in the intricate woodwork of temples, in the brushstrokes of classical paintings, and in the vibrant decorations of New Year celebrations where the fish is believed to bring luck and prosperity for the coming year. In Japan, the carp, known as koi, holds a place of honor in gardens, art, and the national imagination. Koi are bred for their vivid colors and graceful forms, swimming serenely in carefully tended ponds. The annual Koinobori festival transforms the landscape as families raise carp-shaped streamers high into the sky, each streamer representing a wish for strength, courage, and success. The image of the koi swimming upstream is a powerful metaphor for resilience, and the fish's presence in poetry and painting reflects a deep respect for its tenacity. In Japanese homes, carp paintings are displayed as reminders to persevere through hardship, and in public spaces, statues and fountains celebrate the fish's beauty and symbolic power. The carp's ecological role in Asia is equally significant. For centuries it has thrived in rivers, lakes and rice paddies, coexisting with native species and supporting the livelihoods of countless communities. Its adaptability has made it a cornerstone of aquaculture, providing a reliable source of protein in regions where other fish might not survive. In bustling markets, live carp swim in tanks, ready to be prepared for family feasts or ceremonial meals. Here, the carp is not an outsider but a vital part of the landscape, both natural and cultural. In Europe, the carp's journey began with the Romans, who introduced the fish to new waters as a source of food. By the Middle Ages, monks were raising carp in carefully managed ponds, ensuring a steady supply of fish during times of religious fasting. Over the centuries, carp farming became a tradition in rural villages, shaping local economies and culinary customs. In Central and Eastern Europe, the carp is the centerpiece of Christmas Eve dinners, a symbol of abundance and continuity. In bustling markets, tanks of live carp are a familiar sight in the days leading up to the holidays, and families gather to prepare the fish according to recipes passed down through generations. The carp's presence at the table is a reminder of history, community, and the rhythms of the seasons. In contrast, the carp's arrival in North America was marked by unintended consequences. Imported in the 19th century for food and sport, the fish quickly adapted to new environments, spreading through rivers and lakes with remarkable speed. In the United States, the carp is now seen as an invasive species, blamed for muddying waters, uprooting aquatic plants, and outcompeting native fish. Conservationists and anglers view the carp as a threat to cherished waterways, and efforts to control its population are ongoing and often contentious. The fish's reputation here is shaped by its impact on the environment rather than its cultural or culinary value. The stark contrast in the carp's reputation is a reflection of history, ecology, and the values of each society. In Asia, the carp is a symbol of hope, endurance, and good fortune, its image celebrated in festivals, art, and daily life. In Europe, it is a cherished part of tradition, a link to the past and a source of sustenance. In North America, it is a cautionary tale, a reminder of how a single species can reshape entire ecosystems and challenge our relationship with nature. The carp's journey across continents is a story of adaptation, survival, and the power of perception. In one place, it is a bearer of blessings. In another, a harbinger of trouble. The same fish, seen through different eyes, becomes a hero or a villain, a treasure or a threat. The tale of the carp is ultimately a reflection of the cultures that have shaped its destiny, each with its own history, beliefs, and relationship to the natural world. Across continents and centuries, the story of carp is one of adaptation, resilience, and unexpected harmony. While the United States has often viewed carp as a threat to native waters, other regions have woven this fish into the very fabric of their landscapes. In these places, living with the carp is not a battle, but a lesson in coexistence, one that unfolds in the quiet currents of rivers, the bustling life of wetlands, and the ingenuity of human enterprise. In the heart of many river systems, carp glide among native fish, their movements stirring up the riverbed. This gentle disturbance releases nutrients, feeding a hidden world of invertebrates and plants. Here, carp are not invaders, but participants, sharing space, food, and shelter with a multitude of species. Scientific research has revealed that when their numbers are kept in check, carp can even help maintain the delicate balance of these aquatic communities. In sprawling wetlands, the presence of carp shapes the rhythm of life. Birds swoop down to snatch young carp from the shallows, while frogs and insects thrive in the tangled vegetation that grows in their wake. The carp's foraging creates pockets of open water, inviting a parade of creatures to feed, hide, and breed. Each season, the wetland becomes a stage for countless interactions, with carp playing a supporting role in a much larger drama. Carp are omnivores, their diet as varied as the environments they inhabit. They graze on algae, sift through mud for tiny crustaceans, and nibble at aquatic plants. Their feeding clouds the water, but in healthy systems this is counterbalanced by lush plant growth and the tireless work of filter feeders like mussels and snails. These organisms help keep the water clear, creating a cycle where every species has a part to play. In the deeper channels, schools of carp move in unison, watched closely by predatory fish like pike and catfish. These hunters keep carp populations in check, preying on their eggs and young. The river's food web is a tapestry of connections, each predator and prey, each plant and grazer bound together in a system that has evolved over generations. When the rains come and rivers swell, carp seize the moment. They migrate into flooded meadows and shallow backwaters, scattering their eggs among blooming plants and tangled roots. This annual ritual not only ensures the survival of the next generation, but also provides a feast for countless animals, fish, birds, and even mammals, drawn to the abundance of life that follows the flood. In Asia, the relationship between people and carp is a story of innovation. For centuries, farmers have welcomed carp into their rice paddies, where the fish patrol the flooded fields, eating insect pests and fertilizing the soil with their waste. This partnership transforms the landscape into a living system, where crops and fish thrive together, and every harvest is a testament to the wisdom of working with nature. Today, technology has taken this coexistence to new heights. In modern aquaculture facilities, carp are raised in carefully controlled tanks, their water filtered and recycled to minimize waste. Engineers monitor every detail, ensuring that the fish grow healthy and strong without harming the environment. These systems are models of efficiency, producing food while protecting wild rivers and lakes. In these closed-loop farms, carp flourish under the watchful eyes of their caretakers. Solar panels power the pumps, automated feeders deliver precise meals, and sensors track every change in water quality. The result is a sustainable source of protein, produced with care for both the fish and the planet. As dawn breaks over a quiet river, the surface stirs with life. Carp move among native fish, each species finding its place in the shifting mosaic of the ecosystem. The story of the carp is not one of villains and heroes, but of context, of how a single species can be both a challenge and a resource, depending on the world around it. In thriving aquatic communities, carp are just one thread in a vibrant tapestry. Their interactions with plants, invertebrates, and other fish create a web of life that is constantly shifting, adapting, and renewing itself. The health of the whole depends on the balance of its parts. By looking to places where carp have long been valued, scientists and conservationists discover new ways to manage and coexist with this resilient fish. These lessons offer hope for American waters, suggesting that with careful stewardship, even the most controversial species can find a place in the landscape. The future of living with carp may not be a story of conquest, but of understanding, of learning from nature, applying science and building new relationships between people, fish, and the waters they share. In this vision, the carp is not an enemy, but a partner in the ongoing work of creating balance and abundance. Far from the freshwater rivers where carp spark heated debates, a different fish commands respect and awe in the icy reaches of the north, the mackerel often called the silver treasure of these frigid waters. In the restless steel-blue expanse of the North Atlantic and Arctic seas, mackerel have carved out a kingdom. Here the water is cold enough to sting the skin, and the wind howls across endless horizons, yet the mackerel flourishes, perfectly adapted to this challenging world. Sleek and muscular, the mackerel is a masterpiece of marine evolution. Its torpedo-shaped body, clad in iridescent silver and blue, is built for relentless motion, capable of slicing through the water with astonishing speed and stamina, covering hundreds of miles in search of sustenance. Mackerel are true wanderers of the open ocean, forming immense, swirling schools that can stretch for miles. These living rivers of silver pulse beneath the waves, a breathtaking spectacle that hints at the abundance and mystery of the northern seas. The biting cold of these waters is not a hindrance, but a vital ingredient in the mackerel's story. The chill shapes their flesh, making it firm and rich with oil, and dictates the rhythm of their lives, from migration to spawning. Each mackerel's scales shimmer like polished metal, reflecting the pale northern light. This dazzling armor is more than beautiful. It's a clever defense, scattering light to confuse both predators and prey in the crystal-clear water. Beneath that silvery skin lies a treasure trove of nutrition. Mackerel are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, making them a prized catch for those who seek both flavor and health. But their value goes far beyond the dinner plate. As voracious feeders, mackerel sweep through clouds of plankton and dart after small fish, helping to keep these populations in check. Their appetite is a force of nature, shaping the balance of life in the northern seas. Yet for all their prowess, mackerel are also prey. They are the lifeblood of the north, feeding a host of predators, massive fish, agile seals, soaring seabirds, and even the great whales that roam these waters. Each mackerel is a link in a chain that binds the entire ecosystem together. The mackerel's life begins as a tiny egg, adrift in the nutrient-rich currents. Timing is everything. Spawning is synchronized with the northern spring, when the sea teems with plankton, giving the young their best chance at survival. As the seasons turn and ice melts, mackerel adapt with remarkable agility. They shift their migration routes, following the invisible highways of ocean currents, always seeking the richest feeding grounds and safest spawning sites. Their schooling is a marvel of coordination, a living ballet where thousands move as one. This unity confuses predators and helps the school locate food, a testament to the power of collective instinct. The North Atlantic is no gentle home. Here, mackerel face roaring currents, sudden storms, and the ever-present threat of predators. Only the strongest and most resourceful survive, forging a lineage of resilience. With sharp senses and agile bodies, mackerel can detect the faintest changes in water temperature, salinity, and pressure. These abilities help them evade danger and discover new opportunities in the ever-changing sea. As both hunter and hunted, mackerel are a keystone species, supporting the diversity and vitality of the Northern Ocean. Their presence is a sign of a healthy, thriving ecosystem. The mackerel's story is inseparable from its environment. The cold, nutrient-rich waters of the north shape its abundance, its quality, and its essential role in the web of life. The icy temperatures slow the mackerel's metabolism, encouraging the build-up of rich fat reserves. This not only makes their flesh highly prized, but also provides vital energy for countless marine creatures that depend on them. The mackerel is a living example of how the harshest environments can produce the most remarkable life, creatures of unique quality, perfectly attuned to their world. To see mackerel weaving through drifting ice at dawn, or gliding through the silent blue of the Arctic, is to witness the triumph of adaptation and the intricate connections that sustain the northern seas. The saga of the mackerel is one of endurance, transformation, and ecological wonder, a silver treasure that glimmers at the heart of the frigid north, sustaining life in one of the planet's most demanding realms. The mackerel's journey begins in the frigid, nutrient-rich waters of the northern oceans, where immense schools gather each spring to spawn. Mackerel are pelagic fish, spending their lives in the open sea, rarely approaching the ocean floor or the coastline. Their world is one of endless blue, where survival depends on constant movement and acute awareness. As the water temperature rises, mackerel migrate in vast, shimmering shoals, following the invisible trails of plankton that drift with the currents. These migrations can stretch for hundreds of miles, and the synchronized movement of the shoals is a breathtaking spectacle beneath the waves. For fishermen, tracking these elusive schools is both an art and a science, requiring a deep understanding of the ocean's rhythms. Before dawn, the crew rises to the sound of the engine rumbling through the hull. On deck, men in heavy rain gear work in silence, their breath visible in the cold air as they check lines, untangle nets, and ready the winches. Every movement is practiced and precise, honed by years at sea. The captain, eyes fixed on the sonar, calls out as a dense cloud of mackerel appears on the screen. With a flurry of activity, the crew springs into action, releasing the massive net into the water. The net unfurls like a curtain beneath the surface, encircling the unsuspecting fish as the vessel maneuvers with careful precision. As the net tightens, the water churns with silver flashes. The mackerel, swift and agile, dart in every direction, but the mesh walls close in. With practiced teamwork, the crew hauls the heavy net aboard, muscles straining as the catch spills onto the deck in a glistening cascade. Each fish is quickly sorted by size and quality. Some are destined for local markets, others for distant shores. The men work swiftly, hands moving with the rhythm of experience, ensuring the mackerel are handled with care to preserve their freshness. Not all mackerel are caught by net. Some fishermen prefer the challenge of line fishing, casting baited hooks into the swirling shoals. The tug of a strong mackerel on the line is a test of skill and patience, a contest between man and fish played out on the open water. Once caught, the mackerel are handled with respect. Each fish is inspected for quality, its scales gleaming in the morning light. The best specimens are set aside, destined for the finest tables, while others are packed for processing. The mackerel's powerful muscles and iridescent scales are a testament to a life spent in constant motion. Each fish tells a story of survival in the vast, unpredictable sea. To preserve their quality, the catch is swiftly transferred to cold storage. Ice is shoveled over the fish, locking in freshness as the boat continues its journey. In the processing room, the crew works efficiently, preparing the mackerel for market. Some of the catch is destined for freezing, a process that must be done quickly to maintain the delicate texture and flavor of the fish. The flash freezer hums as the mackerel are sealed in cold vapor, ready for transport across the globe. From the first light of dawn to the final haul, the process of catching mackerel is a blend of tradition, technology, and respect for the sea. Every stage, from the hunt to the handling, is a testament to the skill and dedication of those who make their living on the water. In every shimmering fish, the story of the ocean endures. In the sunlit warm waters of the Pacific Ocean south of Okinawa, a remarkable spectacle unfolds beneath the waves, one that has fascinated observers for generations. The flight of the oceanic gliders, the flying fish. Here the ocean's surface shimmers with possibility, and every ripple hints at the drama playing out below. Unlike the swift mackerel darting through the blue or the bottom-dwelling carp hidden among the sand, the flying fish is celebrated for its extraordinary adaptation, its ability to break the boundary between water and air. This unique talent has made it a symbol of ingenuity and survival in the vast Pacific. When danger lurks below, perhaps a swift predator or a shadow gliding through the depths, the flying fish transforms the ocean surface into a runway. With a sudden burst of energy, it launches itself skyward, leaving behind a trail of bubbles and a startled pursuer. Reaching lengths of up to 10 inches, the flying fish is perfectly engineered for escape. Its streamlined body, covered in iridescent scales, reduces drag, while its powerful, forked tail acts as a propeller, driving it out of the water at astonishing speeds. Every muscle and fin is tuned for this moment of flight. With a rapid, whip-like motion, it accelerates to nearly 37 miles per hour, breaking the surface in a burst of energy that leaves predators behind. The ocean, for a brief instant, becomes a stage for this breathtaking escape. Once airborne, the fish unfurls its long, wing-like pectoral fins. Delicate yet strong, these fins catch the wind and transform the fish into a living glider. The sunlight glints off the translucent membranes, revealing intricate patterns evolved over millennia. The flying fish does not flap its fins like a bird. Instead, it rides the ocean breezes, using the air currents above the waves to extend its flight, sometimes skimming just inches above the water's shimmering surface. Each glide is a calculated dance with the wind, a testament to the fish's mastery of two worlds. A single glide can carry the fish for more than 650 feet, allowing it to traverse vast stretches of open ocean and evade the jaws of hungry hunters below. Some have been observed making multiple leaps in succession, touching the water only briefly before launching again, as if determined to remain airborne as long as possible. In the golden light of dawn or dusk, entire schools of flying fish erupt from the sea, their bodies catching the sun and sparkling like living jewels as they soar above the waves. The spectacle is fleeting but unforgettable, a living mosaic of silver and blue moving in perfect harmony. This adaptation is not just a spectacle, it is a key to survival, allowing the flying fish to thrive in the open ocean, where threats are ever present and escape routes are few. Their presence is a sign of a healthy, balanced ecosystem where every creature plays its part. The flying fish are not solitary wanderers. They travel in large schools, moving with the shifting tides and currents, their migrations synchronized with the rhythms of the sea. Together they form a living current flowing across the Pacific in search of food and safety. Their journeys are guided by the subtle cues of nature, the warming of the water, the lengthening days, and the pull of the moon and tides. Each signal is a call to move, to seek new feeding grounds, to continue the ancient cycle of migration. The arrival of the Kuroshio Current, a mighty river of warm water, signals the start of their migration, bringing nutrient-rich flows that support a vibrant marine ecosystem. The current is a lifeline, carrying not just flying fish, but countless other species that depend on its bounty. This migration typically peaks in late spring, when conditions align for the flying fish to journey toward coastal waters. The ocean comes alive with movement as schools of fish gather in anticipation of the next phase of their life cycle. Drawn by the full moon and high tides, the fish approach the shallows to spawn, their silvery forms gathering in the moonlit water to lay eggs on floating debris and seaweed. The night is filled with quiet activity as the next generation is set in motion. The eggs, sticky and resilient, cling to drifting seaweed and flotsam, ensuring the next generation will be carried by the currents to new feeding grounds. Each egg is a promise of survival, a tiny vessel set adrift on the ocean's endless journey. The window for spawning is brief, dictated by the cycles of the moon and tides, and the flying fish must act quickly to ensure their survival. As the sun rises, the ocean returns to its calm, but beneath the surface, life is already stirring. As the young hatch, they quickly learn to glide, their tiny fins already adapted for the aerial ballet that defines their species. Each attempt is a lesson in survival, a rehearsal for the challenges that lie ahead. Flying fish play a vital ecological role, feeding on plankton and small marine creatures, while themselves providing nourishment for larger predators such as tuna, dolphins, and seabirds. Their lives are woven into the fabric of the ocean's food web, connecting creatures great and small. Their presence supports a complex web of life, linking the open ocean to coastal reefs and sustaining the balance of the Pacific's marine ecosystem. Every glide, every leap, is a thread in this intricate tapestry. The story of the flying fish is one of adaptation, migration, and harmony with the ever-changing ocean, a testament to the ingenuity of life in the Pacific's boundless blue expanse. From the first glimmer of dawn to the last shimmer of moonlight, the oceanic gliders remind us of the beauty and resilience that define the world beneath the waves. The synchronized hunt for flying fish is a breathtaking display of nature's precision where instinct, environment, and evolution converge in a spectacle that has fascinated observers for generations. This is not a random flurry of activity, but a carefully orchestrated event honed over millennia. As the sun begins to dip or rise, signaling the golden hours, flying fish gather in immense schools. Each fish is attuned to the subtle cues of its neighbors, moving as a single fluid entity. The water churns with anticipation as the school tightens, every member alert and ready. Suddenly, a ripple of energy passes through the group. In perfect synchrony, dozens, sometimes hundreds of flying fish break the surface, their bodies slicing through the water with astonishing speed. Their powerful tails beat rapidly, propelling them into the air. Once airborne, their pectoral fins unfurl like wings, catching the wind and allowing them to glide for remarkable distances. This aerial ballet is not just for show, it is a vital survival strategy, helping them evade swift predators lurking below and giving them a vantage point to spot prey. The hunt is a complex interplay between the flying fish and other marine creatures. Dolphins, for example, often join the scene, herding smaller fish toward the surface. The flying fish seize this opportunity, launching themselves into the air to snatch prey that has nowhere left to hide. In the darkness of night, the ocean transforms. Bioluminescent plankton light up the water's surface, casting an ethereal glow. Against this luminous backdrop, the flying fish glide, their silvery bodies shimmering as they navigate the glowing currents. The glowing plankton not only creates a mesmerizing spectacle, but also serves a practical purpose. It helps the flying fish orient themselves and locate prey in the inky blackness, turning the hunt into a dance of light and movement. Each member of the school has a role to play. Some act as scouts, darting ahead to test the waters, while others maintain the cohesion of the group. Communication is silent but effective. Tiny shifts in direction, subtle changes in speed, all relayed instantly through the school. As dawn approaches, the flying fish continue their relentless pursuit. The first rays of sunlight pierce the water, illuminating the swirling masses below and above the surface. The fish use this changing light to their advantage, adjusting their tactics as visibility improves. Not every leap results in a successful catch. The ocean is a place of both opportunity and risk. Some prey slip away, while others are caught in mid-air, snatched with precision before the flying fish dive back into the safety of the water. The flying fish are discerning hunters. They inspect their surroundings carefully, seeking out prey of just the right size, typically between 8 and 10 inches, with smooth, unblemished skin. This selectivity ensures that only the best are chosen. Quality control is strict. In a typical hunt, only 70 to 80% of the attempts meet the high standards set by the school. The rest are left behind, ensuring that the energy expended is always rewarded with the finest catch. Once caught, the prey is consumed quickly, providing the flying fish with the energy reserves needed for their next flight. The cycle of hunting, gliding, and feeding continues, each phase seamlessly blending into the next. After the hunt, the flying fish undergo a meticulous process to prepare for future challenges. They are washed in cold seawater, their delicate scales cleaned using advanced ultrasonic systems that preserve their unique texture. The highest quality fish are vacuum sealed to lock in their freshness, while others are deep frozen at -40 degrees Celsius, ensuring that their remarkable qualities are preserved for the journey ahead. Each shipment is assigned a unique QR code, allowing its journey to be traced from the moment of capture to its final destination. This traceability guarantees that the story of the synchronized hunt is preserved, along with the quality of the fish itself. Through this intricate dance of nature, the flying fish demonstrate the extraordinary power of cooperation, adaptation, and precision, a spectacle that continues to inspire awe in all who witness it. The stories of the carp, the mackerel, and the flying fish are more than just tales of aquatic life. They are windows into the ways humans connect with the natural world, each relationship shaped by centuries of tradition, necessity, and imagination. Consider the carp, whose journey through rivers and lakes has sparked both admiration and concern. In some places, the carp is seen as an invader, a force that disrupts the delicate balance of native waters, stirring up sediment and outcompeting local species. Yet in other corners of the world, the carp is revered, a living symbol of perseverance, its image gracing ancient scrolls and temple ponds, its presence woven into the fabric of local folklore. In tranquil garden ponds, koi, descendants of wild carp, glide beneath the surface, their vibrant colors representing hope, transformation, and the enduring spirit of life. Generations have gathered at the water's edge, watching these fish move with quiet determination, drawing inspiration from their ability to thrive in ever-changing conditions. The mackerel, meanwhile, is a creature of the open sea, its life a testament to the power and mystery of the ocean. In the cold northern waters, mackerel move as one, their silvery bodies flashing in the dim light as they weave through forests of kelp and navigate the vast blue. For coastal communities, the arrival of mackerel signals abundance and hope, a time when nets are cast and the bounty of the sea is shared among neighbours. The pursuit of mackerel is a ritual passed down through generations. Fishermen rise before dawn, guided by the stars and the shifting tides, their boats rocking gently as they wait for the telltale shimmer beneath the waves. Each catch is a reminder of the ocean's generosity, but also of its fragility, a balance that must be respected if the cycle is to continue. The mackerel's journey is one of constant movement, a dance through currents and reefs where survival depends on speed, instinct, and the ability to adapt. Its role in the food web is vital, connecting the smallest plankton to the largest predators, a living thread in the tapestry of marine life. Then there is the flying fish, whose story unfolds above the warm Pacific waves. With a sudden burst of energy, it breaks the surface, gliding on wing-like fins, escaping the jaws of predators below. For island communities, the flying fish is more than a marvel of nature. It is a seasonal visitor, its arrival celebrated with rituals that honor the sea's rhythms. The timing of the flying fish's migration is guided by the moon, its silvery light drawing both fish and fishermen to the water's edge. Under the glow of the full moon, boats set out in silence, their crews attuned to the subtle cues of wind and tide, waiting for the moment when the fish take flight. The tides, too, play their part, shaping the journey of the flying fish and those who depend on them. Success is not measured by force, but by patience and respect for the natural world, a lesson passed from elder to youth, echoing in the quiet hours before dawn. The migration of the flying fish is a living reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. Each leap above the waves is a testament to the delicate balance between survival and harmony, a story written in the language of tides and seasons. Through these three fish we glimpse the many ways people interpret and interact with the natural world. The carp may be seen as a nuisance in one place, a cherished companion in another. The mackerel, a symbol of plenty and a linchpin in the ocean's web. The flying fish, a bridge between land and sea, tradition and sustenance. Whether a fish is labeled a pest, a resource, or a partner in the ecosystem depends on the stories we tell and the values we hold. These stories are shaped by our needs, our histories, and our hopes for the future. By listening to these different perspectives, we not only discover the remarkable lives of fish, but also deepen our understanding of the world and our place within it. The rivers, the seas, and the creatures that inhabit them are not just resources, they are living stories, connecting us across cultures and generations, reminding us that every life, no matter how small, is part of a greater whole. In the hidden depths of rivers, lakes, and oceans, a silent journey unfolds, one that has shaped aquatic worlds for millions of years. Beneath the surface, where sunlight fades and currents twist, fish have embarked on odysseys that span epochs, continents, and climates. The story begins in the primordial waters of Earth, where the earliest fish emerged, armored and strange, navigating ancient riverbeds and shallow seas. Over eons, these pioneers branched and diversified, their lineages splitting as continents drifted apart and new waterways formed. Fossils tell tales of creatures with jaws evolving to grasp prey, fins transforming for speed or stealth, and bodies adapting to every conceivable aquatic niche. Through relentless trial and error, some species developed remarkable abilities, resilience to freezing mountain streams or sun-baked floodplains, the power to spawn by the thousands, and ingenious feeding strategies that let them exploit every available resource. These evolutionary gifts were forged in the crucible of competition and survival. Natural selection honed these traits, preparing certain fish not just for survival, but for expansion. Some became swift predators, others cunning foragers, and a few masters of endurance, able to traverse obstacles and colonize new frontiers. As the planet's face changed, rivers shifting course, glaciers carving valleys, and seas rising and falling, barriers between waters appeared and vanished. Each transformation offered new opportunities for movement and migration. Sometimes a fish would find itself swept into a new territory by a surging flood, a breached dam, or a storm that carved a fresh channel. Other times the slow meander of a river would connect distant habitats, allowing species to slip quietly into new domains. Each arrival was a catalyst for change. The newcomers, often unnoticed at first, began to interact with the resident species, competing for food, space, and mates, sometimes forming uneasy alliances, other times igniting fierce rivalries. Invasive species, armed with evolutionary advantages like rapid growth, aggressive behavior, or tolerance for pollution, often outpaced the native inhabitants. Their numbers multiplied, their presence felt in every corner of the ecosystem. As their populations exploded, invasive fish transformed the underwater landscape. Dense schools clouded the water, altering the balance of predators and prey and reshaping the very structure of aquatic habitats. Native fish, once rulers of their realms, now navigated a world turned unpredictable. Some retreated to rocky crevices or shadowy pools, wary of the new threats that lurked in familiar waters. Many struggled to find food as invasive species devoured resources with relentless efficiency. Breeding grounds once teeming with life grew empty. Some native fish faced currents they could no longer withstand, or predators they had never encountered before. The arrival of a single invasive species could send shockwaves through the food web. Plants were uprooted, insect populations crashed, and the chemistry of the water itself began to shift, affecting every living thing in the ecosystem. In the cold, crystalline streams of the mountains, ancient trout once glided through clear waters, their dominance unchallenged for centuries. But the arrival of aggressive newcomers forced these trout into isolated refuges, tiny, rocky pools where survival became a daily struggle. In the warm, slow-moving rivers of the lowlands, voracious predators appeared seemingly overnight. Delicate native minnows and frogs, once abundant, vanished as their habitats were overrun and their eggs devoured. Wetlands, once alive with the calls and movements of countless unique species, grew eerily quiet. Invasive fish claimed the marshy waters, crowding out the original inhabitants and leaving behind a changed, quieter world. Yet the story of invasive fish is not simply one of destruction. It is a tale of evolution in motion, of competition and coexistence, of new balances being struck in the ever-shifting tapestry of life. Each species, whether invader or native, carries the legacy of adaptation. Gills that filter oxygen from murky water, scales that resist parasites, and instincts honed by generations of survival. The journeys of these fish, sometimes spanning entire continents, remind us that the natural world is never static. River systems change course, lakes rise and fall, and resilient species find ways to persist in new and challenging environments. In the end, the legacy of invasive fish is written not only in the loss of what once was, but in the birth of new ecosystems, complex, dynamic, and unpredictable. These new worlds teem with life, shaped by the relentless push and pull of adaptation. The silent voyagers continue their journey, their impact echoing through the waters of the world. They are living records of adaptation, survival, and the ceaseless flow of life, reminders that in nature, change is the only constant and every journey leaves its mark. Beneath the shimmering surface of rivers and lakes, a vast and intricate world thrives, hidden from the casual observer. Here, every ripple and ray of sunlight marks the beginning of a story, one where life pulses in a delicate, interconnected web. Fish of every shape and size glide through these waters, each species a vital thread in the tapestry of aquatic life. Some move in tight schools, their synchronized movements a defense against predators, while others patrol the depths alone, masters of their solitary domains. The drama of predator and prey unfolds in silence. A flash of silver signals a chase, predators darting after nimble prey, each encounter a test of speed, strategy, and survival. In the shallows, tiny minnows flicker through beams of sunlight, feasting on drifting plankton and microscopic life. Their quick movements stir the water, sending ripples across the sandy bottom. Meanwhile, in the cool shadows, beneath overhanging roots and dense vegetation, larger fish wait in patient ambush, their bodies perfectly still, eyes fixed on the world beyond their hiding place. Each pursuit, each successful catch, subtly shifts the balance, controlling the numbers of both hunter and hunted, and ensuring that no single species dominates the ecosystem. When predators flourish, they keep populations of smaller fish and invertebrates in check, preventing unchecked growth that could tip the scales and disrupt the entire aquatic community. This careful balance forms the backbone of a healthy food web, where energy and nutrients flow from one level to the next, supporting a vibrant array of life. Fish are not merely consumers, they are essential couriers in the nutrient cycle. As they feed, they transform what they eat, redistributing nutrients throughout the water. Their movements carry nutrients from the depths to the shallows, from the riverbed to the open water, fertilizing plants and feeding countless microorganisms. Grazing fish nibble on algae that cling to rocks and plants, keeping blooms in check. Their constant feeding allows sunlight to penetrate deeper, nourishing underwater forests of aquatic plants. Some fish, like salmon, embark on epic migrations, traveling from the ocean to their birth streams. When they spawn and die, their bodies become a feast for scavengers and a source of rich nutrients, revitalizing entire river valleys. Even the smallest fish play their part, their waste fertilizing aquatic plants and feeding the tiniest forms of life, from bacteria to zooplankton. Many fish are natural engineers, shaping their environment in remarkable ways. Some build nests from pebbles and sand, creating safe havens for their eggs and stirring up the riverbed in the process. As they dig and stir, they release silt and oxygen into the water, improving conditions for countless other creatures that share their home. On coral reefs, parrotfish scrape at hard surfaces, breaking down coral and rock into fine sand. Over time, their work creates new habitats, sandy patches where young plants and animals can take root. In lakes and wetlands, schools of feeding fish prevent aquatic plants from growing unchecked, maintaining open water and preserving vital habitats for amphibians, reptiles, and other aquatic life. Across every habitat, swift rivers, tranquil lakes, dense wetlands, fish are the quiet custodians of balance, their actions shaping the world beneath the surface. Their presence controls pests, nurtures aquatic plants, and provides a crucial food source for birds and mammals that depend on the bounty of the water. Remove just one link from this chain, and the consequences ripple outward. Algae may choke a lake, or swarms of insects may overwhelm a stream, disrupting the balance that sustains all life here. Yet, as seasons change and waters rise or fall, fish adapt with remarkable resilience. Some travel vast distances, others burrow into mud or seek deeper pools, always finding ways to maintain the harmony of their world. Through their migrations, their feeding and their nesting, fish shape the destiny of the waters they inhabit, influencing everything from the clarity of the water to the abundance of life within it. Their silent, tireless efforts weave together the health and resilience of entire ecosystems, ensuring that the dance of life continues unseen but essential beneath the waves, where every fish is both guardian and architect of the deep. In the ever-changing tapestry of aquatic life, survival is a relentless test of adaptation. Beneath the surface, every current, every ripple, and every shift in the environment presents a new challenge, one that fish have learned to meet with astonishing ingenuity. Fish, the ancient voyagers of water, have been sculpted by millions of years of evolution. Their bodies and behaviors are living blueprints of survival, each species a unique answer to the question, how do you thrive where others cannot? As the world around them shifts, currents changing, temperatures fluctuating, habitats transforming, fish respond with a dazzling array of strategies. Some are subtle, almost invisible, others are dramatic, reshaping the very way a fish lives. When water temperatures rise or fall, fish do not simply endure, they transform. Their bodies adjust at the cellular level, altering the way they process energy, the speed at which they grow, and even the timing of their life cycles. In the icy reaches of the Arctic, cod glide beneath frozen surfaces, their blood laced with antifreeze proteins. These remarkable molecules prevent ice crystals from forming, allowing the fish to move freely in waters that would freeze the blood of any ordinary creature. In the tropics, where sunlight can turn shallow waters into warm baths, fish adapt by seeking refuge in deeper, cooler layers. Some species accelerate their metabolism, growing rapidly to take advantage of fleeting food booms, while others slow down, conserving energy until conditions improve. For many, migration is the answer. Fish like tuna and salmon embark on epic journeys, guided by invisible gradients of temperature and salinity. They travel thousands of miles, crossing entire oceans to find the perfect conditions for feeding and breeding. But temperature is only one piece of the puzzle. Fish must also navigate shifting salinity, oxygen levels, and the ever-present threat of predators and competition. In estuaries where rivers meet the sea, The water can change from fresh to salty in a matter of hours. Here, fish like salmon and eels perform a biological alchemy, transforming their bodies to survive in both worlds. Salmon, born in freshwater streams, journey to the ocean, their bodies gradually shifting to handle the salt. Eels do the reverse, leaving the sea to spawn in distant rivers, their physiology adapting with every mile. Specialized cells in their gills act as microscopic pumps, moving salt in or out as needed. This delicate balance is maintained with precision, allowing these fish to cross boundaries that would be fatal to most. The gills themselves are marvels of adaptation, thin, feathery structures that extract oxygen from water, filter out waste, and regulate salt all at once. In some species, gills even change shape or function as the fish matures or moves between habitats. Pollution brings new challenges. In rivers clouded by chemicals and debris, fish must either adapt or perish. Some species develop enzymes that break down toxins, while others learn to avoid contaminated areas altogether, using their keen senses to detect even the faintest traces of danger. In waters where oxygen is scarce, certain fish rise to the surface to gulp air, supplementing their gills with primitive lungs. Others slow their heartbeat and metabolism, entering a state of suspended animation until the water is once again breathable. Adaptation is not just a matter of biology, it is woven into the very behavior of fish. Some species develop complex social structures, working together to find food or defend against predators. When food sources shift, fish may change their diets entirely, learning to exploit new prey or forage in unfamiliar places. Spawning times too can shift, with fish laying eggs earlier or later to match the rhythms of a changing world. Schools of fish may split apart or merge together, responding to the abundance or scarcity of resources. In lean times, some fish strike out alone, while others band together for safety in numbers. Every obstacle, be it a fallen tree, a new predator, or a sudden flood, demands a response. Fish learn, remember, and adapt, their actions shaped by both instinct and experience. Their bodies and minds are tuned to the subtlest cues: a shift in water pressure, a change in light, the scent of distant rain. In an instant, a school can turn as one, evading danger or seizing opportunity. In this way, fish are both survivors and innovators. They colonize new habitats, invent new ways of living, and endure in places where life seems impossible. In the silent depths, where sunlight barely penetrates and the water is cold and dark, fish continue their ancient dance with change. Some produce their own light, glowing softly to attract prey or communicate in the darkness. Their resilience is a living testament to the power of adaptation, an unending story, written in fins and scales, in the silent language of currents and tides, beneath the ever-shifting surface of their world. Each fish in its own way is a master of change, forever enduring, forever evolving. Beneath the shimmering surface, a world unfolds where solitude is rare and every life is woven into a greater tapestry. Here, the water is alive with silent conversations, invisible exchanges, and ancient partnerships that have shaped the fate of entire species for millennia. In the secret alcoves of rivers, the shadowy beds of lakes, and the sprawling blue of the ocean, fish are never truly alone. They are part of a vast web of alliances, some forged by necessity, others by opportunity, all essential to the survival of the aquatic world. In these underwater communities, survival is a collective endeavor. Schools of fish move as one, their synchronized movements confusing predators and increasing the odds that most will survive. Among them, different species may swim side by side, each benefiting from the safety in numbers, even if they are not closely related. Some fish form close relationships with the plants that anchor the aquatic world. These plants are more than just scenery, they are lifelines, offering food, shelter, and a place to hide from danger. In the dense, swaying forests of kelp and seagrass, young fish find a sanctuary. Here the blades of green provide a maze where predators struggle to follow, and the gentle currents bring a steady supply of food. The plants, in turn, benefit from their fishy tenants. As fish feed on the tiny invertebrates that graze on their leaves, they keep the plant life healthy, preventing overgrazing and disease. This delicate balance ensures that both plant and fish communities thrive. In the sunlit shallows, another partnership flourishes. Algae, the green architects of the aquatic world, and fish, the ever-moving inhabitants, are bound by a cycle of mutual support. Algae release oxygen into the water, a vital breath for fish and countless other creatures. In return, fish excrete nutrients that feed the algae, fueling their growth and ensuring the cycle continues day after day. The web of life grows ever more intricate as we look closer. Some fish act as guardians, others as caretakers, and still others as cleaners, each role essential to the health of the whole. On vibrant coral reefs, tiny cleaner fish like wrasse and gobies set up stations, their presence signaled by a distinctive dance. Larger fish, sometimes even predators, line up and wait their turn, trusting the cleaners with their well-being. With careful precision, the cleaners pluck parasites and dead skin from their clients, providing relief and health in exchange for a meal. This daily ritual builds trust, and even the fiercest hunters become gentle participants in this exchange. Over time, these interactions become woven into the very fabric of reef life, creating a living mosaic where every species has a role and every action has a ripple effect. Even the smallest creatures are vital threads in this web. Tiny fish and microorganisms, often invisible to the naked eye, are constantly at work, breaking down waste, recycling nutrients, and supporting the food chain from the bottom up. In the murky depths, where sunlight barely penetrates, fish and microorganisms engage in a subtle but essential exchange. Here, life depends on the unseen, as bacteria and other microbes transform decaying matter into nutrients that sustain the entire ecosystem. Some fish have developed remarkable partnerships with the bacteria living inside their own bodies. These microbes help break down tough plant fibers or neutralize toxins, turning what would be indigestible into vital energy. In return, the bacteria thrive in the warm, nutrient-rich environment of the fish's gut, multiplying and evolving alongside their hosts in a partnership that has lasted for millions of years. In the shadows, where danger lurks and light is scarce, symbiosis becomes a matter of survival. Here, some fish have evolved extraordinary adaptations, relying on their microscopic partners for more than just digestion. The flashlight fish, for example, carries glowing bacteria in special pouches beneath its eyes. These bacteria emit light, illuminating the darkness and transforming the fish into a living lantern. As night falls, the flashlight fish flashes signals to attract prey or confuse predators, using its luminous partners to survive in a world where sight is a rare gift. Sometimes the alliances that form are as surprising as they are ingenious. In the sandy seafloor, two very different creatures have learned to trust one another completely. The blind goby, with its keen sense of danger, and the burrowing shrimp, a master digger, share a home beneath the sand. The shrimp tirelessly excavates and maintains their burrow, while the goby stands guard at the entrance. At the slightest sign of trouble, the goby flicks its tail, warning the shrimp to retreat. This simple signal can mean the difference between life and death, and together they are far safer than they could ever be alone. Their partnership is a testament to the power of trust and cooperation, even between the most unlikely of allies. These relationships, layered through every depth and habitat, are the threads that hold the aquatic world together. From the sunlit shallows to the darkest trenches, every creature is connected by a network of mutual benefit. Each fish, plant, and microbe plays a unique role, their fates intertwined in a living tapestry that is constantly being rewoven by the currents of change. In this world, cooperation is as vital as competition. The push and pull between helping and outcompeting one another creates a dynamic balance, ensuring that life continues to adapt and thrive. And so the story of fish is not just one of survival, but of alliance, an ever-evolving network of trust, balance, and shared destiny hidden beneath the blue, where every life is part of a greater whole. Beneath the waves, where the world seems shaped only by tides and time, some of the most remarkable architects are fish themselves. Their influence on the aquatic environment is subtle yet profound. Each fin stroke, every nest built, and every burrow carved leaves a lasting imprint on the underwater landscape. Consider the industrious cichlids of Africa's great rift lakes. In the shallows, male cichlids transform the sandy lakebed into elaborate arenas, sculpting vast craters and intricate mounds to attract mates. These underwater amphitheaters are more than just displays of strength. They become miniature ecosystems. As cichlids defend their territories, they stir up nutrients and oxygenate the sediment, drawing in smaller creatures and plants. Over time, these carefully crafted homes create new habitats, supporting a greater diversity of life than the barren sand ever could. In the vast coral reefs, another kind of fish-driven transformation unfolds. Parrotfish, with their beak-like mouths, graze tirelessly on algae that threaten to choke the coral. As they feed, they break off bits of coral skeleton, digest the nutritious parts, and excrete fine white sand. Incredibly, entire tropical beaches are built grain by grain by these tireless grazers, each bite shaping not just the reef, but the very shores above. Meanwhile, in the shadowy depths of rivers, armored catfish set about their own brand of engineering. As they burrow and forage, they churn up the riverbed, releasing trapped nutrients and creating new hiding places for insects and smaller fish. Their constant motion prevents silt from smothering eggs and plants, keeping the ecosystem healthy and dynamic. Sometimes the influence of fish is felt even beyond the water's edge. Salmon, born in freshwater streams, embark on epic migrations to the ocean only to return years later to spawn and die. Their bodies, rich with nutrients from the sea, nourish not only the river but the surrounding forest. Bears, birds, and insects feast on their remains, and the soil itself grows richer. In this way, the journey of a single fish becomes the lifeblood of an entire landscape. Even the smallest fish leave their mark. Schools of tiny silversides darting through seagrass meadows keep the plants free of algae and pests. Their movement stirs the water, helping sunlight reach every blade and ensuring the meadow thrives. Fish are not just inhabitants, they are creators, caretakers, and catalysts for change. Through their daily routines and ancient migrations, they shape the world beneath the surface and beyond, proving that even the smallest actions can transform entire ecosystems. In these hidden acts of creation, the true power of the aquatic world is revealed, not in solitude, but in the collective impact of millions of lives, each one shaping the world for those who follow. Beneath the shimmering surface, where sound travels farther and faster than in air, fish have mastered a language all their own. In this realm of perpetual twilight, communication is a matter of survival, yet it rarely involves a spoken word. Instead, fish converse in whispers of movement, pulses of color, and vibrations carried on invisible currents. Consider the electric knife fish of South America's murky rivers. Hidden from sight, these enigmatic creatures generate gentle electric fields, each with a signature rhythm. By modulating their pulses, they send messages to rivals and potential mates alike, a coded Morse, undetectable to predators. In crowded waters, a single jolt can signal aggression, submission, or even a subtle invitation. Elsewhere in the coral labyrinths, the damselfish orchestrate their own symphony. When danger looms, they emit sharp clicks by snapping their jaws or grinding their pharyngeal teeth. These clicks ripple outward, warning neighbors of lurking predators. In response, the reef bursts into action, a living alarm system triggered by soundless calls. Farther north, the humble stickleback tells stories with its body. During courtship, the male's throat flushes a brilliant red, a beacon that cuts through green water. He dances in zigzags, fanning his fins and leading a would-be mate to his carefully constructed nest. Each gesture is loaded with meaning, a silent dialogue that decides the next generation. But communication isn't just for courtship or caution. In the midnight zone, where sunlight never reaches, deep-sea lanternfish flash bioluminescent patterns in the darkness. Their glowing signals attract allies, confuse enemies, and help entire schools navigate the abyss as one. Here, light itself becomes a language, fleeting, beautiful, and essential. Even the smallest fish have stories to share. Schools of sardines turn on a dime, their bodies shimmering in synchronized waves. This ballet is more than instinct, it's a collective conversation, a way to confuse hunters and stay safe in numbers. One fish twitches, the rest respond, and the message sweeps through the group in a heartbeat. In this world without words, every shimmer, every pulse, every flicker is a thread in the tapestry of life. Fish may live in silence, but their conversations shape the fate of oceans, rivers, and lakes. Through these whispered languages, they remind us that meaning does not always require a voice. Sometimes it is felt in the currents, seen in the shadows, and heard only by those who listen. As the sun slips below the horizon and the world above settles into darkness, a transformation sweeps through the underwater realm. For many fish, the night is not a time for rest, but for awakening, a shadowy shift change where new actors emerge and the familiar becomes mysterious. In shallow coastal waters, the day's vibrant residents retreat into crevices and coral shelters. In their place, nocturnal hunters like the squirrelfish and soldierfish glide from the gloom, their large, luminous eyes designed to gather every stray photon. These silent stalkers rely on senses beyond sight, detecting the faintest vibrations, the subtle chemical trails, and the gentle sway of water as prey passes by. Their bodies, tinted in hues of crimson and silver, become nearly invisible in the moonlit sea, a perfect camouflage for the darkness. Farther offshore, the deep pelagic zones host a nightly migration of epic proportions. As darkness falls, countless lanternfish and bristlemouths rise from the inky depths, drawn by the safety of night and the promise of food near the surface. This vertical journey, known as the dial migration, is the largest animal movement on Earth, an invisible river of life that flows upward as the stars appear, then retreats with the dawn. Each fish is equipped with its own tiny lanterns, glowing organs that help them find each other, evade predators, and blend into the shimmering starlight above. But night is not only for the hunters. In freshwater streams, the elusive catfish emerges, whiskers twitching in the current. Guided by touch and taste, it explores the riverbed, searching for insects and crustaceans hidden under stones. Its world is a tapestry of scents and gentle touches, a sensory map drawn in darkness. For some fish, the night is a time for daring courtship and secret spawning. The male plainfin midshipman, a humble resident of the Pacific coast, serenades beneath the moon with a low, humming call, vibrations that pulse through the sand, reaching hidden females. This underwater lullaby is a promise and a challenge, echoing through the depths until a mate answers. As the night deepens, the boundaries between predator and prey blur, and every movement can mean survival or surrender. The ocean and rivers pulse with new rhythms, each species adapting to the challenges and opportunities of the dark. When morning breaks, the night shift fades away, leaving only fleeting traces in the sand and silent ripples on the surface. In these nocturnal hours, the hidden lives of fish reveal a world of ingenuity and adaptation, a reminder that the aquatic realm never truly sleeps. Beneath the waves, every night is alive with stories waiting to be discovered by those who dare to look beyond the light. Beneath the water's surface, not all predators rely on speed or strength. Some are masters of patience and deception, ingenious architects who build traps, craft lures, and turn the seafloor into a stage for the ultimate ambush. In the dimly lit depths, the anglerfish reigns as the iconic trickster. With a bioluminescent lure dangling from its forehead, it becomes a living fishing rod, its glowing tip mimicking the movements of a helpless worm. Curious prey, drawn in by the promise of an easy meal, find themselves suddenly engulfed by the anglerfish's cavernous jaws. Here, darkness is not a barrier, but a canvas for the perfect illusion. Closer to shore, the stargazer fish buries itself in sand, leaving only its eyes and an upturned mouth exposed. It waits motionless, camouflaged as a simple patch of seabed. When an unsuspecting creature drifts too close, the stargazer erupts from hiding, snatching its prey in a flash. Some stargazers even possess electric organs, delivering a stunning jolt to anything that strays too near, an extra layer of defense in their deadly design. In freshwater streams, the archerfish employs a different sort of ambush. It lurks just below the surface, eyes tilted upwards, and with a sudden burst spits a precise jet of water at insects perched above. The unsuspecting victim tumbles into the water where the archerfish is waiting. This remarkable hunter calculates distance and angle, adjusting its shot for refraction, a feat of natural physics that rivals the accuracy of any human-made weapon. Then there are the sand-diving lizardfish, whose bodies blend seamlessly with the ocean floor. They create shallow pits, lying in wait for hours, their patience rewarded when a small fish or shrimp wanders into striking range. Even among coral reefs, the leaf scorpionfish floats motionless, mimicking a drifting fragment of seaweed. Its disguise is so convincing that prey and even predators overlook it, until it strikes with lightning speed. In these underwater worlds, the line between hunter and habitat blurs. Each ambush predator is an engineer sculpting its environment or its own body to outwit prey. Some use light, others use camouflage, and some wield tools as precise as any artisan. Their strategies are as diverse as the habitats they inhabit, from the abyssal plains to sunlit shallows. Through these silent architects we glimpse a different kind of intelligence, a creativity born of necessity, where survival is an art form. Their traps and tricks remind us that in the aquatic realm the battle for life is not always won by those who chase, but often by those who wait, hidden in plain sight, masters of surprise. In the vast expanse of the world's waters, some fish are not content to remain in one place. They are voyagers, driven by instinct, ancient rhythms, and the pulse of the seasons to embark on epic migrations that span continents and oceans. These journeys are among nature's most extraordinary spectacles, weaving together the destinies of countless species and shaping entire ecosystems. Consider the salmon born in the cool, fresh streams of the northern hemisphere. As juveniles they drift downstream, adapting to the saltwater embrace of the open sea. Years pass as they grow strong in the ocean's bounty, but an invisible compass tugs them homeward. Guided by the scent of their natal waters, they retrace their path against raging currents, leaping waterfalls, and evading predators at every turn. For many, the journey ends where it began, a final act of endurance and sacrifice as they spawn the next generation and, in death, nourish the very river that gave them life. Far from the rivers, in the blue deserts of the open ocean, the Atlantic bluefin tuna sets out on a migration of staggering scale. These muscular giants travel thousands of miles between feeding grounds in the rich waters of the Atlantic and their ancient spawning sites in the Mediterranean. Navigating by the sun, stars, and the Earth's magnetic field, they school together in shimmering formations, their bodies built for speed and distance. Their migrations support entire fishing communities, but also place them at risk, as overfishing threatens their numbers and the delicate balance of marine life. Yet not all migrations are a race across the globe. In coral reefs and shallow lagoons, tiny gobies and wrasses embark on nightly journeys, moving from shelter to shelter in search of food and safety. Some species, like the European eel, begin their lives in the mysterious Sargasso Sea, drifting for years across the Atlantic before winding their way into rivers and streams across Europe, an odyssey shrouded in mystery that scientists still strive to understand. These migrations are more than just movement. They are lifelines. They connect distant habitats, transport nutrients, and synchronize the rhythms of countless creatures. Along the way, fish face daunting obstacles. Predators, pollution, dams, and the unpredictable hand of climate change, yet their determination endures, a testament to resilience forged over eons. In following their ancient paths, migratory fish remind us that the world's waters are a web of connections, dynamic, ever-changing, and vital to the health of our planet. Their journeys are stories of survival and renewal written in water and time, echoing the eternal promise of return.